Good evening. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to what is going to be, and welcome to another writing stream. Hello. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for coming along. I am a little bit nervous about this one, just because I haven't done a writing stream in a while, and also I'm going in completely blind into this. So I'm excited to do some writing. Hello Runes, hello Mysterious, good morning Mysterious. Love the mood lighting. Yes, welcome to the new office. It's the same office but slightly different. There is mood lighting. There, as you can see, kind of over here. There's a where is it gone? Over here. Hello Bonsai Gem, a good time zone to you as well. We have yes, we've got some mood lighting under the sofa. I also have a new lamp which you can kind of see above me there. Moved the sofa from over there to over here, so the desk that was over there, that was behind me here, is now over there. And the more eagle-eyed viewers will have seen that Poppy has now moved over to behind me, so it's much easier for me to show you when Poppy is in the room. So it just so happens that when I stream is the time when Poppy usually decides to come in here and fall asleep. So Poppy will be joining us for this stream. How are you doing, Poppy? Good, glad to hear it. So if you would like to see the baby, just let me know, and I can literally just turn, and there she is. Isn't that great? So Poppy will be joining us tonight for streams. But yes, thank you. I'm glad. I am really happy with the new set, Baby on Tap. basically yes. But you know, I'm just gonna sit like this, so Poppy is in view. But yeah, so I'm I spent the end of last week moving stuff around. It's not entirely finished. I want to like still do my desk and stuff, but you don't ever see that really. But yeah, it means if we ever have guests, they have a place to sit, rather than just sort of grabbing a seat from the other room and sort of sitting awkwardly next to me. They have a place to be. We can have a setup that way as well, which is lovely. I've got much more art on the back wall. Basically, I've all the art that was scattered around is now up there. There's posters from various different live shows. There's also a couple of fan art from different shows on there as well. So yeah, I love the new office. It's great. But right, so what are we doing? I haven't properly explained this, and I don't think this is kind of the announcement for it. Just because I was so busy at the weekend. What was I doing at the weekend? I had something on at the weekend and I forgot what it was. Anyway. I had a shoot today. I was on shoot all day today, so it's why there's not been an announcement. But I've been saying on stream recently that I've God, that's a mood though. It is, isn't it? It's just where I'm at. So I'm on like massive freelancer come down right now. Like I feel like I have so much less to do, and my brain can't quite cope with it. But like I'm still racking my brain. I will remember halfway through the stream what I was doing at the weekend. But I've been mentioning on stream that I kind of want to make more audio drama on here, because I really enjoyed making Anamnesis. I had such a wonderful time making Anamnesis, and it was great for me creatively. It was great for me mentally, and I'm now at the stage where I've got a couple of months where I don't really have any big projects. I've still got Folklore to do. Folklore is still coming out, and there's still a couple of episodes left for Folklore for me to edit. But for the next few months, I'm going to be fairly quiet, which is quite nice. I've got small jobs coming in, and hopefully I'll be able to talk about some of them soon. There's one big one that I'm not allowed to talk about that I think most of you know about anyway. But yeah, I'm kind of looking for something new, and I kind of said this, and I realized that I'm not with music. I can just be on stream, make a piece of music, then go, all right, okay, whatever. Nothing really came of it, but you know, it made something. I don't do that for audio drama, and I definitely want to start doing that. So to that end, so my partner reminded me that it's April, and April is National Poetry Writing Month, or NaPoWriMo for short. Some of you may be familiar with NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. This is the same thing, but it's poetry, and the idea is that you try and write 30 poems in 30 days. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm nowhere near that prolific when it comes to writing, but I thought it would be a good idea. Yeah, it's a bit harder to share the writing bit of the creative process normally. Yeah, like, I think the problem is coming up with ideas. Like I think if it's just like, right, we're going to start on something new, just open up a blank sheet of paper and start on something, it'll be me staring at a piece of paper for 2 hours, getting gradually more anxious, and no one needs that. So this is a good idea. So this website is there isn't like an official website, but this is kind of the first one that pops up, and they do prompts every day that are entirely optional, but I thought it might be fun to use them as prompts to make audio drama, like a monologue based audio drama. So we'll be making this really small. It'll just be me doing everything. And yeah, so we're currently on the 3rd of April, so I thought it would be good to go through the 3 days worth of prompts that they have put up, and play around with all 3 of them, and see if anything sticks out, see if there's anything that kind of takes our fancy, that we maybe, that something that once we've written stuff down for it jumps out and turns itself into an audio drama. That's the hope. And we're going to give it a go. The kind of idea is that I'll kind of spend Mondays writing, and then Wednesday it'll be recording and potentially editing as well. So it means we're kind of doing one of these a week. That's the plan. How far we get with that, I don't know. Like the hope is to try and have like a 5-minute kind of a 5-minute thing with each one, and then we can release them at the end of the month. At the moment, this is just going to be an April thing, but I might keep it going afterwards, depending on how well it goes, depending on how much people enjoy watching it. Just because I'm aware that for somebody that makes audio drama as like a job, that's not what I spend most of my time on this channel doing, and I kind of want to make that more about make the channel a bit more audio drama focused. I do have a few things coming up, like I've got at some point I want to open up the project file for the Tower Part 3 and talk through how that was made. I'm going to be doing that with Folklore as well. I'm going to be opening up the project files behind Folklore, just because this particular last season has been really interesting in terms of sound design. There's been some very unusual choices and workarounds for things that I really want to talk about and I really want to share. A lot of the new series of Folklore has been made in a very interesting and unusual way for me, at least, and I kind of want to talk about that. But other than that, it's going to be NaPoWriMo, a NaPoWriMo fringe event where I'm going to be making some monologues, writing and performing some monologues and turning them into audio dramas. So yeah, that's hopefully going to be the next month. Hopefully something comes out of it. But either way, I think we're down to learn something, and also I really enjoy writing these writing streams. And also for anyone interested, I've put the Tower Part 3 soundtrack on the music playlist for streaming, so we might hear some of that tonight as well. And I'll be releasing that soon as well. April 1st is such a stressful time because I can't I'd stuff. I'm like, oh, I need to talk about this. I need to announce this, but I can't do it on the 1st of April because 1st of April you can't announce anything because people don't take it seriously. NaPoWriMo also makes me think National Nap Taking Month. I mean, that's also valid. I mean, I'm in my 30s now, so every month is National Nap Taking Month. Like, it's not something that, like, it doesn't annoy me as much as I thought it would. But when I was growing up, I used to like get very not like, oh, but like whenever, so again, basically, if in the Devereaux family, after 2-3 o'clock, you just nap. You just nap, and that is your entire afternoon. And I'm starting to do that now, and I need to very much stop myself from doing that, because there are things I need to do. I have work to do, and as much as I enjoy naps, as much as in fact I enjoy naps, I think more than most. Yeah, I still need to be able to do work. Tang Whistle, hello, good to have you here. We're kind of slowly getting started. I feel like I'm stalling just a little bit. I will totally get behind National Nap Taking Month. Good to see you, Tang Whistle. Good to have you here. So, we have 3 days worth of prompts. I think we play around with all of them, and then see what comes up. So I'll read through them, and then we can talk about a little bit about which one we're going to do first, and what ideas we have. So, day 3, this is today's prompt, which is find a shortish poem that you like and rewrite each line, replacing each word or as many words as you can with words that mean the opposite. For example, you might turn "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day" to "I won't contrast you with a winter's night." Your first draft of this kind of opposite poem will likely need a little polishing, but this is a fun way to respond to a poem you like while also learning how that poem's rhetorical strategies really work. It's sort of like taking a radio apart and putting it back together, but for poetry. So I initially kind of freaked out. I'm not freaked out, I kind of balked at this. I'm like, oh god, right, okay, that's for a monologue. I'm not really sure there's much we can do with that. But I think it's an interesting starting point. And I did find a poem. So this... I'm balking. I'm balking here. For those that aren't aware, I don't know if for those of people who haven't heard of Poems on the Underground, so this is a thing Transport for London does, where they will, if you're on the tube and you've got the sort of ads above you, occasionally you will find a poem, and that's part of an initiative called Poems on the Underground. And I have a collection of them, but every time I'm in London, and I have to use the tube, I'll kind of catch a new poem, and they're really good. They're usually really, really good. And I was looking for a specific one that I couldn't remember the name of that I saw years ago, but I found this one instead. That's letting me click on it for some reason. Okay, called Star by I'm going to say this wrong. Adam Zagajewski, translated by Claire Kavanagh. And I thought this would be a fun one to rewrite. So, because it's got a good story to it. It's basically, the story is just about returning to a city. And I think there's a lot of writing we can get out of that. So that's kind of idea number 1. So day 2 is it's surrealist question and answer, which I think is going to be interesting. Pick 5 to 10 words from the following list. Write out a question for each word that you've selected. Now, for each question, write a one-line answer. Try to make the answer an image, and don't worry about strict logic. These are surrealist answers. So we have all of these words that we could potentially turn into... we're going to turn these into questions, and then write out answers for them, and then turn that into a monologue. So what's interesting about them is a lot of them are noise-based, or at the very least have sounds. So like thunder, for instance. I know ghosts don't make a sound, but I think just putting ghost is an interesting one. Fog, owl, generator, river. These are all very interesting concepts. Woo, yeah. Just give David Pello a call. Pello, what are you doing right now? You wanna just do some voice acting? I do have a wonderful recording of Roger saying "boo" while we were recording the Dungeon Economic Model Halloween episode. Gil writes. Speaking of, right, so you know how Tumblr have polls now? You can do polls on Tumblr, and there's sort of been the podcast sexy man bracket, that kind of thing. There's now one for podcast pets, and Sans the cat has been nominated. So and like the sensible part of me doesn't care. It's just like, it's fine. You know, Admiral's on there, and there's a couple of pets from Critical Role, and I'm like, okay, they are absolutely going to win. But at the same time, I'm glad Sans got nominated for something. Glad Sans got that acknowledgement. I'm so looking forward to that poll. Me too. I think probably Renewers. I think you probably put me onto it on Twitter, actually. On Tumblr rather. But yeah, I was just very proud. I was like, yeah, amazing. So the first, the last prompt we have here is this. They say you can't judge a book by its cover, but they never said you can't write a poem based on a book cover, and that's the challenge. Take a look through Public Domain Review's article on the art of book covers. Some of the featured covers are beautiful, some are distressing, some are just plain weird. I'm looking at you, Mr. Sweet Potatoes. I'm curious to see what that one is. With any luck, one or more of these will catch your fancy and open your mind to some poetic insights. So let's click on this article. I should have opened that in a new tab. So we have a collection of book covers here. Can we put this on full screen? Zoom in there. No, thank you. So we have quite a few book covers here. I mean, that's already really interesting, right? Like, the feet! Sorry, you know, sometimes when you say things and then it takes a second for your brain to catch up with what you just said. Yeah, the feet. I will not be writing a monologue called The Feet. I like the bat skull snake. Yes, I was drawn to that one as well. How to swim could be interesting. Because the thing is that I'm not a very strong swimmer, and I have like a really big how to swim. Oh, it is by a captain. Oh, amazing. Dreams and Ghosts, that's a nice big one. A book of images. Ooh, okay. How not to drown, thumbs up. So here's the thing, right? So I think How to Swim could be interesting because I'm not a strong swimmer. Also, I have quite a big fear of deep water. Just because I've through happenstance I've nearly drowned like 2 or 3 times in my life. So I have an aversion to water, and also because I have I can't go in swimming pools with chlorine in them. So that obviously, in the UK at least, that means I can't go into swimming pools at all. So I'm not a strong swimmer because I can't really go swimming anywhere. And it's just meant that I've got this slight fear of swimming in water. So so far that's got a lot for me to cover, I think. What else do we have? Oh right, sorry, we've got actually individual ones here. The feet. Sorry, that's still laughing at the feet. So it's from a book called Dress and Care of the Feet. Not a strong swimmer plus How to Swim book equals ghost prompt. Maybe we could write an interesting kind of. We could write an interesting monologue about. I dare you to do something with the feet at some point. We might be able to combine things here because the feet is what is. I can't. The feet is kind of standing out to me, obviously. Ghost feet. Potentially. Practical taxidermy. That's just a good title for something, I think. The Age of Fire and Gravel. Feet standing out, good one. A treatise on the adulteration of food and culinary poison. Cat Fireblade, hello, good to have you here. I like that Stars and Web cover. Yeah, that's Lord Dunsany's Book of Wonder. I believe that's an occult text. Okay, so practical. I'm gonna open these in new tabs so we can look at them later. I will open the cover for the feet because I feel like I kind of almost have to. Got the Curious. Sketchbook of British Birds. Ooh, I quite like that actually. I've been reading The Peregrine. That's interesting. A floral fantasy in an old English garden. Mr. Sweet Potatoes, there it is. That's quite, that's a lot. See, I like these, but I feel like I'm gonna have to look up the book. Like go to Internet Archive and look up the book and see if I can find like a quote from it, you know? Use that as the starting point. Because I'd love to write something called Practical Taxidermy, but I don't know anything about taxidermy, so... did I open that one? Yeah, the feet, Practical Taxidermy. Mr. Sweet Potatoes gives me the vibe of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Yeah, like, I could write something horror, but I don't want to do anything with that. 10 times 1 is 10. Not yet, you don't. Welcome to the stream where I'm gonna read Practical Taxidermy in real time. I'm just gonna make an audiobook. That's what we're gonna do. Sketchbook of British Birds. I'm gonna open that because that's sparking something. Successful advertising. The Gilded Fish is quite nice. Is that, you mean the Water Babies? That is quite nice, actually. Could open that one up. Successful advertising. See, I feel like I'm latching onto titles rather than images. Like I really want to know what this is. Because like, I really love the kind of story ones, but I think the problem is that it's too broad, right? Like I kind of want something with like the more specific it is. I feel like that's going to help with the writing process. How to Swim, quite like that. From the Earth to the Moon. Gillian the Dreamer, A Book of Nonsense. The Magic of Science. A Book of Scientific Amusements. The Visible to Be? A Story of Reading? Out of Chaos? A Personal Story of the Revolution in Russia. By Prince Michael. Oh. Like, I think it's a good cover, but maybe not. I think, like, I thought it was fiction. I was like, oh, this could be quite interesting, but then I just saw Prince, and I'm like, oh, no. Also, you can go away. Thank you. There we go. What do we got? I do like that name, though. Yeah. Of Chaos. A Hollow Earth. I might use it for a story. Oh yeah, by the way, feel free to, like, if there's a specific image that you are wanting to use for your own stories, please let me know, and I will open it and I will kind of hold on it for a bit so you can clip it or something. In Russet and Silver, The Thinking Machine. Ooh, I like this. Woman and Her Wits. That's very intricate. I'm not sure what we can do with it, but The Thinking Machine. Spectrum Analysis. And that's at the end. Okay, so oh, we've got a lot. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 covers. So we have Sketchbook of British Birds. This fish one I've forgotten the name of. I have How to Swim, which I think How to Swim is the one that's got like weirdly enough is the one with the strongest kind of draw for me. It's one of the ones with the strongest draw for me right now. Also, I've just noticed that, I'm assuming by the way that this is Captain Davis Dalton. I've just noticed they have a moustache. It's quite subtle, but it's quite a fun one. Also, I quite like how the waves look a little bit like mountains. I think there's something there. Can I zoom in on this? Like that. That's just. I just like that as an image. Woman and her wits. Practical taxidermy. Those aren't mountains, right? But like, I don't know. There's something about this. There's something about how to swim that's jumping out at me. And then the feet. The feet. The feet. They do look like mountain illustrations of the period, right? Like, I think... Yeah, I think How to Swim is the one that's currently winning out for me. I've kind of got an idea of something we can use with that. Feet are very important for swimming. I mean, here's the thing, right? I can make a story about how to swim, because a story that I do have. This is a story I've been told by somebody else. My uncle used to be in the Navy, in the Royal Navy, and he told me about a friend he has who is a submariner, and submariners are like being a submariner is the worst job. Like it is an awful job. It is it shouldn't be a thing people have to do. But his friend, who is a submariner, when he's, on shore, when he's on shore leave, when he's not in the submarine, spends all of his time hiking. Spends all of his time hiking hills, hiking mountains, completely on his own. And that's kind of what I'm thinking of when I'm looking at this, right? And it's living in a tin can. Yes it is. Hello, NHS 1948. Hello. So I think I'm probably gonna. I think How to Swim is, if I write using this as inspiration, I promise that I will bring the feet in ground control to Mariner Tom. I promise I will bring in the feet as much as possible. Because also we can do a lot with sound design there as well. Because that's the other side of it, is that we are going to be turning this into an audio drama at some point. So that's what's jumping out at me. Yeah, I think so. That we've got a strong idea for this one. I do like this one, but I might come back to it. The thing is, right? We can because of the way we're doing this, it means next week we can do this one, or we can go to the poetry the rewriting the poem one. So I think. Yeah, I think we do. I think we do this one. Take a look through public. Write a poem based on a book cover. I think we do that. Oh, Poppy's doing something weird. Oh no! Sorry, clicked on the wrong button. What are you doing? Oh, you're just cleaning yourself. Okay. I'll sit like that. There we go. Okay, so we're going to be... I think we write something based on How to Swim. The book cover for How to Swim. And then... like Poppy has so much ambient lighting. It's one... And the thing is, like, I don't know if it's just like the way the camera lens on this works, but she looks even smaller than she actually is. Like it's just... But yeah. This is how I spend most of my day. Poppy Director's Lounge. Okay, right. Let's get back to the screen. Right, what's the best way to do this? So, I'm gonna... Right, I'm gonna... You know, I was gonna save the image for the feet, but I don't think I'm gonna be forgetting this anytime soon. So close that down. I think Practical Taxidermy is a good name for a story. I know it's already a book. I'm assuming it's a practical book. A practical taxidermy book, even. But, come back to that one. How to swim. I think we keep that one as well, just because that might be interesting. And then we don't need that one. I feel like it should be a murder mystery. Yeah, it's kind of a gothic quality to it, right? Right, best way to do this. Minimize. Okay. Pop these over here. Actually, no. Best thing to do is put them down here. Yeah, there we go. And then how to swim. So, call this day one. 3rd April. Oh, come on. Do the thing properly! Come on. There we go. Pop that there, and then that can come up there. Hooray, we did it. Can I just bring that down for you? Yeah, so you can see it there. Okay, so... how to swim / the feet. Okay. So, I think I'm going to try and write something with the idea of the submariner, a fear of swimming, or a fear of deep water, because I can draw on personal experience for that, and then also we can talk about hiking as well, because I really like this idea that that's kind of mountainous as well. Also, if we're talking about hiking and things, we can use. We've already got sound design, and then we've got footsteps, and we can kind of use that as a because an interesting thing we could potentially do is if we had like the footstep, you know, the crunchy footsteps walking up a mountain, and then we can fade that into like the beep of a sonar device. Potentially, that might be a thing. That might be Oh, Poppy's left, everybody. Hopefully she'll be back. Pentathlon with a stretch in a submarine. I think that might be that might be a bit much. That does sound interesting. Thank you. I think we go for that. I think that's probably the thing to do, right? I should probably have written that down. Okay. So we'll say submariner. Who spends off time hiking. Off time. There's probably a better term that, you know who would be really good for this? Ella Watts. Ella, I feel like I need to message Ella about nautical terms. Who spends their, I'm going to call it shore leave for the time being. Their shore leave hiking mountains alone. Because I know about hiking. Like my parents are hikers. My parents are big hikers. But I'm probably also going to get the terms wrong. But I can work that. I feel like I can work that into the story a little bit. And then submariner has a fear of water / swimming. I'm going to say bad experience once. Question mark. I'm just going to message Ella quickly. See, the obvious question would be, the obvious thing would be, Dev, why don't you just message your uncle who's in the Navy? To which I'd say, my uncle has been in the Navy for quite a while, and it takes a while to respond to things. Hey, Ella, can I ask you some questions about nautical terms? There we go. So many sailors can't swim. You're onto something there. Yeah, that's true. I remember. So I grew up in Aberdeen in Scotland. It's very north of Scotland, and it's used to be a very big fishing town before they discovered oil. And I had lots of teachers who had lots of stories about growing up in fishing villages, and writing stream for writing texts. Yeah, right. Like I'm just all different. You know, it's all kinds of writing. We cover all bases here at Tin Can Audio. Yeah. So I remember I had an English teacher who grew up in this place called Peterhead, which was a really, really small fishing village, and he talked about how like nobody that went out on the fishing boats knew how to swim, because their attitude was, well, what was, you know, what would be the point, you know, like, you know, if it's dark, but it's kind of right. But we can. So here's the thing, right? I reckon. Fun fact, back in the day, the advice they used to give RE falling into water from a height was spread out your arms and legs to disperse the force when you hit the water. Oh, that would sting. Oof. Is this... Oh no, we're keeping that one open. Okay. Not dying seems to be the point. How has our species survived with that level of concern for potential death? Not dying seems to be the point. But I think the logic behind it was that, you know, if you are at the point where you are falling off the boat, it's probably going to be a storm, and in that kind of environment, if it comes down to we need to get the ship out of the storm to save everybody on board, or we need to go back and find this person, because I think the received wisdom was you would just save the boat, save everyone, which is horrific. But yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're in a submarine, not knowing how to swim is not really going to be an issue, because right, like. But we can, yeah, that's true. We can maybe work that in. Like, I like this idea of somebody going, right, well, I have a fear of water. I'm going to become a submariner. I'm going to, like, run towards the fear. If the submarine fails, knowing how to swim probably won't help. No, not particularly. So about sink or swim, but you're already sunk. Well, that's it. You're already kind of right down. Right. Somewhere became a submariner to get over fear of water / swimming. Okay. So we need to get 5 minutes out of this. This will be interesting. Okay. Let's fix. And let's be clear about this. Sound. Footsteps hiking. Poppy has returned, everybody. Hiking footsteps, nature ambience, forest ambience, maybe? Okay. There is a moment. There is. There's a moment on a hike, usually early on, when your feet are still adjusting to the feet, right? First line, talking about feet. Did it. To the featuring. You see, this is very much why I don't write the tower with people around, because it would just become me trying to put all these jokes in it. What would get you into submarinering if you had a question mark? If you had a fear of water, a very special careers officer, very special careers officer. I don't know. I think family history is a good one. Like I know that because my uncle was in the Navy, like it was held up as this very big thing, and my brother now works in the Royal Fleet Auxiliary, which is kind of the civilian wing of the Royal Navy. So there is something to talk about family history there. My uncle has an MBE for services for his role while he was in the Navy. Yeah, a lot of the older members of my family have done like a lot of really like genuinely quite cool and impressive stuff, quite cool and impressive things. But yeah, my uncle got an MBE for fighting pirates in Somalia. And we didn't know about this until the letter came through to say that he was getting an MBE, because at that point, because he just never talked about it. Most of my dad's lot were in the Navy. It's a Hebridean thing. Yeah, I feel like that's true. Like, all my family are from the north of England, kind of Newcastle area. So, and I think that it's definitely a part of it there, because it's very much. I mean, it used to be like a big ship town. So my this is the same uncle that plays the organ, by the way, for long-term viewers. And one day, while I was on the phone to him, asked if I wanted an organ. And that's where I got my organ from. And I had to, basically, my partner and I had to drive down to Newcastle to go pick it up. And this is before me and my partner were together. This is just a thing we did, apparently. And we got to the base. It's called HMS Calliope. It's on the Tyne River in Newcastle. And it's a base, but it's still called HMS Calliope. And my uncle came out and was just kind of like, all right, if you just drive around and park by the Spitfire. My uncle just enjoys saying things like that. He was just like, oh yeah, I have. It's like we get it, you're showing off. But yeah, it's an odd day. But yeah, I got my organ. Had to spend the rest of the trip back up sitting like this because the organ was so big. Right, writing. I was talking about feet, but we're here to write. Does it have a plaque that says "Be still, for there is strange music"? Not yet. Go drill one on. When your feet are still adjusting to the rigid grip of your walking boots. And Why is the Hebrides tickling something in my brain that says Greek myth? I mean, it's not quite. It's the islands on the west coast of Scotland, the northwest. Sorry, beg your pardon. It does sound. It pronounced Hebrides, not the Hebrides. That's a very different thing. Sorry, I shouldn't have made myself laugh there. That wasn't even that funny. Sorry, that's not funny. That's not funny. Shut up, Dev. Okay, and your backpack. Often called both. Fair enough. Porca no lost us. And your, I'll call it backpack. And you still feel the bounce of your, I'm going to call it rucksack, otherwise I'm going to be. Next you can write about the legendary Hebrides nuts. Okay. We are writing How to Swim by Captain Davis Dalton. Rucksack on the small of your back. When the world opens up to you. You can almost feel its seemingly infinite width. Sometimes let's take a new line for that. Actually, let's write this. This is music from the Tower Part 3. I'm gonna kind of format this like a formatted anamnesis, where it's kind of almost in verse. Well, it's sort of almost in verse. I say it's taking lots of line breaks and things just to kind of create pacing. Sometimes it's as nope. It's as soon as you lock your car. No. It's as soon as you get out of the car. Other times you have the prelude of a wander through the woods, through a forest. I don't like that line. Sometimes it's as soon as you get out of the car. There's a better way of saying that, I think, right? For some reason I was getting crosswise with Greek myth. I know about the Hebrides from the Ulster cycle. Ah, there you go. There you go. You're close. It's all myth. It's the same aliens. It's the same aliens either way, right? Other times you have the prelude of... I don't like... Sometimes it's as soon as you get out of a car. Like, I'm trying to... The Hebrides is a concert overture that was composed by Felix Mendelssohn in 1830, revised in 1832 and published the next years as Mendelssohn's Opus 26. Some consider it an early tone poem. Ooh, interesting. Ah, there we go. As soon as you get out of the car, turning your. I think I have it. I think I have it. Turning your back on. Turning your back on civilization. Turning your back on. This is clunky, but we can come back to it. Like that's it. You know, leaving everything of a normal life behind in a vehicle. There's something we can do here. Hustle and bustle, maybe. Get out of the car. Climbing out of metal and onto dirt. Creaking metal? Like, because no, I kind of want... Heather's good, but I kind of want to keep it relatively general. Groaning metal. Yeah, groaning metal. I feel like that's maybe too strong. Well, I'll put groan... I like unyielding. Heated metal. I think what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to draw a comparison, because we're going to talk about submarines. Soft dirt, yeah. That's a nice conclusion. Like, because what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to draw a distinction early on between metal and nature. You know, so it means that when we talk about being on a submarine and then going hiking, that comparison, I want to start that relatively early. Enclosed versus open, yeah, but also like man-made versus natural, that kind of thing. Versus man-made versus nature, rather. Yeah. I quite like soft dirt. I think it's... I'm gonna switch that to sometimes because I like the repetition of sometimes. One way is to find the similarities. The other is to really hit the dichotomy, I guess. Older Modal, hello! Good to have you here. Good to have you here, Ollie. It's slow going right now, but I'm having a very good time. I hope everyone else is. Okay, sometimes you have to... The prelude of a wander through a forest before it reveals itself to you. Sorry, just Poppy made a noise. See, because I think obviously there's going to be a change from writing it to go from writing to reading it to like performing it. So I dare say there'll probably be a couple of changes, a couple of revisions. Okay, look, I'll say sometimes it happens as soon as you get out of the car. Climbing out of unyielding metal and stepping onto soft dirt. Sometimes you have the prelude of a wander through a forest before it reveals itself to you. Is the swim going to be figurative? I mean, we're going to sort of talk. We are going to talk about swimming eventually, because basically what I'm going to do is we're going to have a section that's hiking, and then it's going to go into submarines, and then we're going to kind of like, I'm less married to the fear of water. Well, I'm less married to the bad experience and becoming a submariner to get over fear of water, because I feel like that's the weak part of what we're trying to do here. I think yeah, I think we can, it doesn't necessarily have to be something as strong as a fear of water. It could just be like an aversion because they associate it with being in a submarine, you know? I think that's kind of the thinking, I think. A fear of open spaces. Well, it's the opposite of that, I think. Because that's kind of what I'm talking about. You know, you've got this person who spends so much of their time in this confined space that whenever they're not in that confined space, they need to be out and open. Need to be out and open in these spaces and to wander them and just be out in open air and not have any walls anywhere nearby. Just so it means that they can be in this sort of very confined space. The tree's bowing away. Right, I'm going to highlight a few phrases here. So sometimes when I'm writing scripts, in particular when I'm writing scripts like this, what I will tend to do is I will, rather than like at this early stage where I'm just coming up with ideas, I'll highlight certain phrases to kind of be like sound design. Just to kind of keep, just so it means when it comes to actually editing, I've kind of already got some ideas, rather than having to type sound every time you want to do that. Oh, excuse me, the trees. True. I feel like I've said reveal, haven't I? Yeah. Bowing away. Unveiling. Enveiling? Unveiling. Shadow dappled metal, like the sun passing through the leaves onto the machine. I like that as a phrase. That's nice. I'll keep hold on to that one, I think. There's so much world. Not just one mountain, but many. I'm actually going to look at the image for this one, I think. Rolling, jutting. Just different words for mountains. Just different adjectives for mountains. Beaming? That's probably the wrong word. Looming. Standing forever, being forever. Intemperate, is that a word? Intemperate? Interpret, no. It's not a word. It's not a word. It can be if you want it to. I'm not sure that'll be very clear to a listener. I'm gonna go temporary. Being forever too small. Intemperate. Oh no, it is a word. Okay. Intemperate, having or showing a lack of self-control, immoderate. Okay, that's not what I was going for. Oh, that's a good word. Intemperate. Okay, I like that. Not temperate or moderate, especially in rhetoric or tone, unrestrained. Excessive, given to excessive drinking or alcoholic beverages. Okay, it's not the word I was looking for, but I'm glad to know that it is a word. It's a good word, intemperate. Also, thank you for looking up the definition for me. That's very kind. Bad temper, in other words. Yes, that's not quite. Such as small, brief visitors, such as us, such as ourselves. Such as we. No, I don't have to. Such as that. I'll say such as ourselves because then that feels like a wider context. You know. That makes the cups part of the temperance card. Makes sense now. I would like to go back to doing tarot stuff with audio drama. I really enjoyed that part of Anamnesis. Like, I feel like we could do something with like using tarot card, just a single tarot card as a prompt, right? Or kind of almost doing the kind of I Ching thing where it's like you do a tarot reading and then that kind of gives you a story and then you write that. Like, I'd like to do that at some point. This might be what you were thinking of. Temperate deciduous forests are located in the mid-latitude areas. Deciduous. Yeah, I guess it was more I was trying to... I guess I was kind of trying to talk about how, the mountains... the mountains are kind of there, and as far as we're concerned, they're going to be there forever. Or they might as well, on our scale, they might as well be there forever. And kind of making that comparison between the lifespan, if you like, of a mountain and the sort of comparison with a Overwhelming and permanent. Yeah, but I was sort of trying to find what the word for the opposite of that is, you know? Such as me makes it... Yes, that's a good... such as me actually makes it... It means we can do a... Everlasting, yeah. Well, rolling, jutting, looming, we can call it overwhelming. I like overwhelming is a good one. Impermanent. Impermanent. Yes, I like that. You know what? We'll call it like me.
You don't think I'm good enough.
Oh.
Romantic enough.
Oh.
I want you to know that I was in love with you.
I got
I loved you.
The
I'm still in love with you.
Vincent Price gave me a fright there.
Remember that.
It's our chill hop track from the other week. Oh, your latest banger. Yeah, this is the gender synth track. I'm so proud of it. Like, oh, I'm gonna turn this up for a bit. I'm so happy with the music I've been making in the last few weeks. By the way, like, I'm kind of at the stage where I'm like, oh, we can release another album of stream music, and oh, it's been really good. Like, if I don't say so myself.
You don't think I'm good enough. Romantic enough. I want you to know that I was in love with you. I loved you. I'm still in love with you. I always will be. Remember that.
The Gender Synth album. Somebody did. I put a clip up of the part of the stream where I talked about the gender synth, or discovered the gender synth rather. And somebody commented "dark bisexual reverb and the sound of gender," and I'm like, that's an amazing band name, right? Like,
I want you to know that I was in love with you.
Going up to a microphone and saying, "Hello, we are dark bisexual reverb and the sound of gender." Like, that's a great.
I always will be.
Like, that's if I ever
Surely there's no
do like a
lady has changed her mind.
like if I ever like release a proper like
I always knew you'd
just
come back
music
anyway.
concept
Your father was
album,
alive.
I'd love to call it
After
that.
he died,
It's
I
great fun.
Well, I thought there might be a chance.
I'm in love.
Rachology, hello. Did someone mention bisexual and gender? We did indeed. We were just talking about the track that you're hearing just now,
Romantic enough.
which
I want you to know that
features
I
a
was in love
synth preset called Gender,
loved you.
and also
I'm
features
still in love with you.
bisexual reverb.
I always will be.
Ah, that's why I was drawn here.
Is that a threat?
You heard the calling. You heard the deep, luscious tones of Vincent Price. I was drawn here to listen. The siren call of Gender. So I felt like I should clarify. So the preset is actually pronounced Gender. It's a gamelan instrument. But yeah, it's the gender synth. That's what we're calling it. Gendar, like the Gender, I think. It's just a hard G. So it's still spelled the same, but there's a sort of accent on one of the letters.
I loved you. And I'm still in love with you.
Oh, Vincent Price. Vincent Price.
always will.
Oofed.
Remember that.
Such bae. I'm a little bit obsessed with Vincent Price. I met his daughter, weirdly, at the cinema I used to work at. Where are we now? Okay. And we're back to the Tower Part 3. Okay, so this is our... the other world. Yes, this is our link, I think. You spend the other 9 months forgetting. Spend the other 9 months forgetting the world. Forgetting the world. Okay, there's a better phrasing. Spend the other 9 months forgetting what they look like. Forgetting what it's like to be awed by so much space. And then that's when we transition. Sound. Tight, cramped, high-pressured, sardine, squashed, claustrophobic, sealed. That's very much where we're going next. Insignificant. Sorry, I'm just looking up here. Insignificant. It would make you feel the vastness. I think I prefer impermanent. I feel like insignificant is correct, but I feel like that's kind of obvious, I guess. Whereas impermanent is a bit more interesting, I think. Also, I don't know how you do this. I would go mad writing in front of an audience. It's a bit of an adjustment, and I think there are certain things. I've mentioned this already. Like if for something like the Tower, I think I wouldn't be able to write that in front of an audience. But for something like this, it's kind of designed to be written in front of an audience. So I think that kind of helps. Also, it means that I'm writing for fun, which I never do. Like, it's nice to be writing for fun. I find it very difficult to write for fun. Yeah. Okay. Transition to. Also, I apologize. I've only mentioned feet once. I will change that. Transition to sonar beeps. Footsteps. Clunking metal. Impermanent is good, brings the element of time, thank you. To be struck by, I quite like that. Forgetting what it's like to be awed, to be struck by. Won't footstep sound effects cover the mention of feet? I promise they won't. The hiking footsteps will kind of be. It'll start loud and then it'll kind of go underneath the mention of feet. Oh no! Did I? Only if they say feet instead of every footstep. It's like Potter Puppet Pals, but it's just feet, 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 feet. That's the listener. That's the listener involvement. I'm going. Email me your recordings of you just saying feet over and over again. Don't do that. I know you all still have the Dropbox link. Don't do that. I don't think I've closed the Dropbox link, so don't do that. Right, let's actually, right. I feel like I should bring this back. Which one was it? Yeah, so we can make that happen. Please don't. Please don't. I don't need recordings of people saying it would be quite the feat. God damn it. So, for those of you just joining us who are wondering why I keep talking about feet, one of the book covers that we potentially had for inspiration was this. It's just called The Feet. It's about foot hygiene. It'd be a wonderful book to read. Disappointedly puts microphone down. God damn. Okay. Why is the music stopped? Are we out of music? All right, let's put that back on. Oh, put handprints on again. Okay. The feet cut of Dem, where they chant feet instead of Zardos. Oh, if you've been listening to the latest series of Folklore, there's a Zardos Easter egg that we managed to hide in the episodes. I suggested it as a joke, and then they were like, no, we'll put that in, which they did. So, yeah. If you need a reason, if you would like a reason to listen to Folklore, listen to it so you can try and spot the Zardos Easter egg. This joke is really towing the line. Are we making feet puns? Is that what this is now? It's all quite corny. Yeah, all right. Quite the feet blisters. Ugh. I feel like I don't say this enough. I really, really love the very strange community we sort of built around these streams. I love how you are always very dependable when it comes to puns. That's a wonderful thing to have. It's just a wonderful thing to be reading all the time while I'm doing things. Sorry, footsteps on clunking metal. Everybody always talks about. It's a good thing I have calluses against bad puns. Oh, very, very good. I think we'll all need some time to heal from this stream. I feel like the puns and the joking are very much the soul of these streams, you know? I feel like that's very much the that's my contribution. That's the only contribution I'll make to the conversation. I wasn't gonna make that joke, but it was a shoe-in, you know, it's just you're just weird. It's just oh, I'm losing my tread. I have a very disappointed cat behind me. How are you doing, Pops? No, you're okay. Right, okay. Alright, you'll walk it back now. Losing your tread of thought, yeah. Oh. You see, I'm trying to. You see, now I'm trying to think of more rather than focus on the monologue. Punning is like coaxing, was just a little bit, yeah. I'm just gonna put submarine ambience. What does the inside of a submarine sounds like? I'm choosing to believe it sounds exactly the same as a industrial freezer that I recorded once while I was at work. I'm choosing to. It probably sounds like that, right? A noble vastness of the ocean. It feels a lot smaller. Truly, these streams are impiedrative. I don't even know how you pronounce that. Impiedrative. I get what you're trying to do here to my mornings. I get what you're trying to do. That's good. That's good. That's that's inventive. It's very inventive. Has the music stopped again, or am I just? Why is it not keeping the music going? Right, there we go. Noble vastness of the ocean. Can have some words. Somebody's. The music walked out in protest. Yeah, the stream gave up on me. Yeah, tight, cramped, high-pressured sardines, squashed, claustrophobic, sealed. I wonder if you hear the general thrum of a crew in the sub, low-level human hum. I kind of want this to be very, not isolating, but I very much want it to be a very singular kind of monologue. I kind of want it to be very, like, although I do like the idea of kind of the difference between the kind of quiet of being out on a hike to kind of being this constantly around people. Some low-level hummus hum. What is does hummus hum? Do you have to like leave it out for a while before it does that? That was tasteless. I'm gonna put potential crew sound because that's something listeners can do. That's something you guys can do. Everybody always talks about the unknowable vastness of the ocean. I don't know if this is going to be cold house to swim, because I feel like that's not going to be... The ultimate dark emptiness there. Pressure and weight of water. Whoops. Are there torpedoes on this sub? Let's cut to the chase. I don't know. I don't know. Because, I mean... Like, ideally, I'd like to sort of... I would like it to maybe be a story about potentially somebody like a marine explorer, but like a marine explorers, like they don't put you down there for very long. Like I thought maybe could potentially do like a sci-fi thing and make it spacey, but I quite like the idea of using water. Like I like the idea of water. It's strange. Strange to move through such. This is a part-time. I don't think you get part-time submariners. I think we can keep it fairly vague as to this person's deal. How many feet below the surface? Do you suppose they were? You know what? We can put that line in. To move through. See, I've already said dark emptiness. Okay. If you go for torpedoes, you get that bigger difference between the regimented military lifestyle and the stillness and wildness of nature. Yes, that's true. I kind of don't want this to be about necessarily a military lifestyle. Mainly because I don't really think I can speak to it very much. I mean, you know, I can't speak very much to being a submariner, but you know, part-time submariner, like, all right, guys, that's my hours. I'm clocking out now. Opens hatch. Just climbs into the torpedo tube, right? See you later, fellas. Right, I need another word for emptiness. Or like just the emptiness of that. Why is? Oh no, we're good. Hollowness. Ooh, okay. Yes, that works with that. That works like the next, like a tube. Ah. Through hollowness and feel so cramped. There's a better word. There's a better word than cramped. Closed in, I think. Void. Ooh. It's strange to move such hollow void and feel so closed in. That works. That works really nicely. That's a really good line. Thank you. Fathoms of suffocating water. I think we will put the crew noise in, just because I think we can make a joke. Not a joke, we can make a point here. And feel, move such hollow void and feel so closed in. Nah, I quite like it. I quite like it without the article. It's strange to move through such hollow void. Like, as though void is like a substance, you know? I quite like it without the A. That just reads really nicely to me. To be so many feet from under. Clicks fingers and just. To be so many feet underwater. So far away from civilization and feel so crowded. Oh, is there a better way of show print layout? No. Because there's a way of format, page setup, page list, that's what I wanted. Oh, that's so much better. Oh, right, okay, there we go. Get rid of the summary. Ah, that's what we wanted. Ugh, excellent. Okay. 40,000 feet brackets in this sub with me. Oh my god. that's excellent. That's just great. That's just great. Ugh. To move through silence with such silence, with such fear of being caught 20,000 feet under the sea. Airless void. Yeah. Oh, I didn't think about it as an airless void, but you're right. Brimming void. Okay. An alien seascape out there. Airless void. You know what? I'm gonna add in an extra line here, I think. I was gonna say an airless cage, but that doesn't work because it's not the cage that's got the cage has got air in it. It's everything outside. Oh, we haven't said world. Okay. Holding our breath in an airless world. With such fear of being caught. Yeah, found is a better word. Because caught doesn't quite work, but found sounds really good. Oh. I just want to take a second and just talk about how much I love this track. I'm so happy with it. Oh. I did not think that this track would come out as well as it did. Thin skin of metal to Johnson. I'm gonna take a music break just because I think about that. The thing is, it's not really a thin skin of metal, is it? It's quite a thick thing of metal. But you make a good point. We haven't really talked about how mechanical it is. We haven't thick thing of metal. Not compared to water pressure. That's very true. You know, we've talked about unyielding metal. Pushing. We could transition back, resisting. I think I prefer pushing back. It's more kind of active. Oh, I love that track. Oh, it's excellent. I like how we're also factoring in like a radio show into this as well. Yeah. Because we could. Because the thing is, we could bring in like a tension here in terms of the sound design. Like we could have that we could really make that quite oppressive and build up, and then cut, you know, and then cut back to. Maybe you could include some sound from Maritime Forecast. Like, I do not need much of an excuse to put the shipping forecast in things. The shipping forecast is... So, in the UK, the kind of main talk radio station, Radio 4, ends at like 1 o'clock in the morning. But one of the last things they have is the shipping forecast. And when I was kind of in my early 20s and I was working in like a cocktail bar, and I wouldn't be getting home till quite late, you know, just buzzed because I've been at work. The shipping forecast was the thing that got me to sleep. So I have a lot of love for the shipping forecasts. I have books. I have a book about the shipping forecast. And I've got a map of it on my desk, so I've got, because just there's lots of names and things. Late nights listening to the shipping forecast and sailing by. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, let's do that. Let's make that a. I feel like we can maybe put that in later. Because I kind of want to do that thing where like the sound will build and then cut back to being on the mountain. Because then we can maybe talk about the shipping forecast. Maybe they listen to the shipping forecast. No, they can't be listening to anything. They just want to be in the space. Because so there's a story that I like. I don't know if this is like still true, or if this is a thing that is just something that's permeated. It's become like an urban myth, but like on the nuclear submarines that the Royal Navy have that are kind of underwater for like 6 months at a time, terrifying things. they basically come up every morning for like a tiny amount, and then to the point where they can like tune into specifically Radio 4, BBC Radio 4, or I think it's the World Service, I think, and basically if they can hear it, it means all's well and that civilization is still there. But if they don't hear anything, they have like a safe that they need to open, because the assumption is if Radio 4 has been switched off, then something has gone drastically wrong, and they need to assume the worst. And I feel like that's kind of been explored to the point where it's kind of become a cliche now. But I like the idea of doing something with the shipping forecast. Transition from shipping forecast to hiking forecast broadcast. I like the idea of doing something with the shipping forecast, because I've always kind of wanted to put it in something, but nothing's really ever stuck, you know. Yeah. Okay. Let's. It appears tonight's going to be a long stream, by the way. I'm going to go on for a little bit longer. Silent builds. As our vessel lurks around Dogger. I'm fascinated by, like, I love the shipping forecast very much. I'm fascinated by it. Like in particular, that, you know, I'm gonna look this up because it's so you get weather boats around the UK. Is it a silly light vessel automatic? Yeah, so you get these things around the UK. Oh no. Where's it gone? You had it a second ago. Tell you what, I'll go back. It's a light ship. Basically, it's as far as I'm aware, they're unmanned, but they're just these ships around the coast of the UK that also work as like lighthouses, and they're also weather stations as well, and they kind of do weather reports every day. I'm fascinated by that. Yeah, so this one's kind of off the light vessels off the coast of England. In the 1950s, Britain's version of the nuclear football for if the PM was on the road when nuclear war happened was 2 shillings placed in every governmental car, so we had enough change to stop at a phone box and order a nuclear strike. That's the most British thing I've ever heard. Imagine, just, oh. The UK is such an odd place. It's just, it really is. It's just, oh my word. That is fantastic. Sounds builds with tension. Sudden cut to wind. That is a wonderful, wonderful fact. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's great. Sudden cut to wind and outdoor scene. Hold for a moment. Hold for a moment. Hiking boots on gravel. Obviously it all went pear-shaped when we went metric. Let me have a think about what happens next. What happens next? Oops. The best mountains are the one. Ooh, just got a little whistle there. where you can stare out. And only see land. I could probably just get rid of inland there. So the best mountains are the ones where you can stare out from the summit and only see land. Where the wall stretches out in every direction and never ends. You forget what walls feel like. Oh no, that's your eyes. Forget what walls feel like. To look ahead and find a barrier. Preventing them from seeing further. What walls look like? I don't know. I don't know. That's a tricky one. Because, like, I don't know, so... This is I prefer feel, but I'm pretty touchy-feely. So... What I'm... A specific feeling I'm talking to you. So I don't know if anyone else gets this, or if this is just a me thing. But, during 2020, when I was inside a lot, whenever I'd not gone outside for a few days, I'd go out for a walk and I could feel my eyes looking ahead of me, looking for a wall, like kind of going, right, where does this room end? And it was a very the submarine years. Yeah, when I was on a submarine in 2020. But yeah, like it was this weird feeling of going outside and almost kind of having my eyes kind of freak out a little bit because they're looking for where the room ends and it didn't. So I guess I'm trying to describe what the inverse of that feeling would be. So I'm going to keep it as feel, but we can always come back to it because, like I said, when we record this, we're going to have to redo a lot of the dialogue anyway. Yep, know what you mean. Thank you. I'm glad it's not just me. It's a weird one to try and describe, you know. The first time I went hiking in deep woods, I couldn't stop hearing traffic sounds. We were miles from the nearest road. Yeah, I believe the opposite is I have anxiety and have had too much of this party. Where is the exit? That's. I feel like I'm growing into that anxiety now, like, in that I'm much more comfortable with it. Kind of being like, right, okay, it is time for me to leave. I'm going now. Goodbye. Like that's what maturity is leaving when you've had enough. Look ahead. Let's bring in the shipping forecast here. Shipping forecast. Everything's quiet. sea sounds blend with the wind. Like, I'm happy with how this is coming along. I'm not 100% sure we've got 5 minutes yet, but I'm kind of sort of cautiously optimistic about it. What am I trying? What am I trying to say with putting the shipping forecast in here? What's the angle? Have we got a storm brewing? I think I got it. It's cliffside ambience. Routine, familiarity. I think I'm maybe going to talk about cliffs, because I feel like you can kind of say the same thing. What we're saying here. For the world stretches out in every direction and never at Richards. That's sorry, that's genuinely thrown me off. We're talking about Richards. Maybe it's a complicated relationship with the water, even though you can't swim. There's something comforting about the forecast. Whoa. That's kind of... So, you're kind of roughly where I'm going with this. Like, I think I like this idea of talking about... sort of hinting at this idea that maybe this person started by walking along cliffs, maybe walking to cliff sides and staring out across the sea. But... not finding that comforting at all. You know? I think that's just this idea of wanting to be as far away from the ocean as possible. You stare out at sea. That's kind of where I'm going with this. You stare up at trees. Or does it bring the land and sea together? I guess, yeah. Could it be about control and security, wanting to know your enemy? Maybe. Yeah, we can really bring this in. Like, I find it comforting as well. I really enjoy sitting on a beach staring out at the sea, but I can understand in this context maybe that wouldn't be comforting. I think it creates an interesting character, and also we can maybe bring in more about the title, you know. Yeah, let's make this slightly more comfortable. I grew up next to the sea. I learned to swim at the border of its infinity. There you go. That idea of bringing the land and the sea together, that's kind of what I'm doing there. it was. Right. Never going too far out. Never diving too deep. I think clambering along cliffs, not ridges. Yeah. I'll get there in a second, but like I kind of. I think I have an angle here. I fell asleep to its moods and tempers, because then we can bring the shipping forecast in. There we go, I drifted asleep, there you go. Oh, sorry, I must have put an emboldened button by accident. Swells and currents. Yeah, I kind of want it to be a bit more like it's a thing. It's like a living thing. You know? I clambered along cliffs, brackets, not Richards. Breathing surf onto the shore. That's a nice phrase, actually. You might use that. Yeah, I clambered along cliffs to watch it breathe surf onto the shore. And stare out. And stare out to the horizons. Just the one horizon. And stare out to the horizon. Yearning to swim there, maybe? It's like a yearning for adventure, maybe? There we go. Let's make this pro. I learned how to swim. There we go. How are we doing with... How many pages am I in? Oh, still 2 pages. That's acceptable. Because then I can transfer it back to Swedish there. I've known what it is to swim too far out, to dive too deep. What did we say before? I've been closed in. The pressure and weight of Be difficult to shore and stare up to the horizon, young to swim there. I'm back, and goodness, look at all that progress. We've come. We've got transitions. We've got scenes. We've got it all. Too much infinity. Too many infinities. What do you think? Too much. Swim too far out. So infinite infinities. I want to do a thing talking about coming back from infinity. It's kind of where I'm going. Too many infinities. Too much unknown. The pressure and weight of too much. Yeah, unknowns. Unknowns is nice because that's kind of what we're going for. There's too many unknowns, right? Too many unknowns. Right. The pressure and weight of too many fathoms. We're going to talk about depth. Pressure and weight of too many fathoms. Too many people. Too many people in too few meters. Oh, what's a good way to describe space? Feet. I mean, inside the submarine. Too many people for too small. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Too many people in too small a space. Oh, thank you. Sorry. Basically, I said, how do you describe space? And then instantly I just read feet. Just, oh. Unfathomable unknowns. I'm going to use the word unfathomable in a second. Microleagues. Feet. just Photoshop this so it says the feek. No, I think small. I quite like small because we're contrasting it with, for want of a better word, bigness. You know, too many people in too small a space. Too much time. Ooh, too much time. Too much time. In the dark. Too much time. In the unfathomable unknown. I think we maybe have something. Okay, hang on. I think we can add another scene here. Signing off for now. It's a lovely bit of work. Thank you very much, Ollie. Hopefully catch you soon. We'll be editing this on Wednesday. We're recording and editing this on Wednesday. I think there's another scene here. Too many feet for this footlocker of a life. How many times have we mentioned feet? Just like god damn, like if people are just tuning into the stream just now, I can't imagine what you're thinking. We mentioned feet twice. So 2 feet. Okay, look, there's a different right. There's a better sound here. To swim. To swim is to... is it too much of a pedantic move to point out that the sea is very fathomable? Taking fathoms is literally a part of the job of a sailor. And we'll mention feet again. I feel like the unfathomable depths is a phrase, right? I'm not making that up. I love how excited you are to mention feet again. Okay. The entirely too fathomable depth. Okay. We know more about the surface of the moon than the depths of our own ocean, hence unfathomable depths. That's a good point. It's unfathomable and unknown. Am I just in the depths of the unknown? If you go to measure fathoms in a sub, someone's going to stop you. Too much time in the dark. Unfathomable is a good word. You know what? I think we can. Let's just repeat the line. We can deliver that line in 2 different ways. I like the idea of being a build and having the like. I like something I've learned from the tower. I like line repetitions, and also something from Anamnesis. I like line repetitions. Repetition can be a very effective dramatic tool. Repetition is the name of the game. It is the name of the game because repetition is the name of the game. To swim is to skim the surface of... the unknowable. I thought the name of the game was Upriver, Downriver. Oh wait, we've switched tracks, never mind. I don't think have I got the Upriver, Downriver soundtrack on here? Oh no, I don't. I've only got the main theme on here. I'll need to put the that's gonna get released soon. Would you believe it? That's pretty sure that was playing earlier. I love that main theme. The album will be coming out soon. As far as I'm aware, they're kind of in the final phases of putting the book together, and the soundtrack will kind of come out at that point. I'm very excited. Like I'm really happy with how that album's turned out. It's kind of, I feel like it starts in because it was made over such a long period of time. You can kind of hear the growth and the change, which is quite interesting, I think. So it's like the music goes on a journey. Am I writing? I feel like I'm writing a conclusion here. Oh no! That's what I want. There you go. I think we're gonna then oh no! Transition to wind and footsteps. Alright, bye pups. Just had a sneeze. Ooh. Turning away from the Oblivion in order to keep breathing. Okay, we've got. I think we're kind of, you know, funneling ourselves towards an ending. I'm actually writing myself and reveling in the hypocrisy of critiquing someone else's whilst I would stab someone in the eyes if they even tried to look at mine. I mean, part of this for me is being a lot more okay showing people works in progress. Like, I mentioned this at the start of the stream, but like I feel like with music I don't mind showing things that aren't finished or are kind of half done or like half baked ideas that don't really work. Whereas with writing I'm very much just no, you can't look at it until it's finished. And I think that's one of the things that stops me writing for fun a lot of the time. It stops me just writing for the sake of writing, because I feel like I have to have an idea. I feel like I need to have an idea that I think has legs. You know, like I have to, you know, I have an idea. It's like, right, okay, well, how big is this idea? How much can I develop it? Can I turn it into a series? Like, what is it? So doing something like this, sea legs even. This forces me to kind of be a lot more like open about writing and open about how I make audio drama, because it's very, you know, I feel like I've been very lucky in that everything that I've released has had a certain level of polish to it, and I kind of want to be a bit more open about being like, here's it when it's this is what it looks like when it's unpolished. This is what it looks like when something doesn't work. You know, like this is what happens when you're making something but you're not really sure how it works until it suddenly does. So like I've kind of come to a certain peace in my head with this, like this part of the process. But I love doing these streams. I love doing writing streams. I get so much out of them. And in a very, very weird way, it takes the pressure off writing, and it takes the pressure off, because I'm not worried about showing it to people because people have already seen it. It's quite strange. It's quite a strange feeling. It's weirdly freeing. See, that's where I find joy in fan fiction. The kind of lack of ownership in it gives you a bit more freedom to be weird and have fun with it and just write for yourself. Yeah, like you see, I've never really done fan fiction. A lot of my ideas start as fan fiction, but they end up kind of going in their own direction. Like Tin Can was FTL fan fiction, and you could argue that The Tower started out as Celeste fan fiction. So yeah, I think a lot of them start there, and it's almost like you have everything, you have the sort of the framework there, and then you kind of build your. It's like when you've built a Lego set using the instructions, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to take this apart and make something else with it. Like, I think that's kind of the best way to describe it, I think, for me. Excuse me. I will say this, in the past few years I have absolutely, so I can't remember who talked about it, but they were like, yeah, the Star Trek books are a lot better than the series, and they're right. I know it's not technically fan fiction, but like yeah, everything kind of around the show usually works out a bit better than the show itself, which I really like, and I like that there's so much of it. Turning away from them in order to keep breathing. Oh, you're back. Oh, like, it makes me also very happy that you can see my cat now. So it means I can openly talk to my cat, and it's not weird. It's still a bit weird. Okay. I feel like I need to contrast this with hiking. Quiet swimming sounds. Keep breathing. To hike is to face forever. I'm a massive sucker for tie-in books, being just old enough to catch the end of the era of things taking a long time to reach home video, so novelizations and spin-off books being a big part of experiencing a show or movie. Yeah, I think that's kind of what started me with Star Trek tie-in novels. Just because I'm just like, I want more of this. And genuinely, I think the first Star Trek novel I read was when I was like 8 years old. There was like a series that was aimed more at kids, and it was about Worf's first year at Starfleet Academy, rather. It was really good. It was sort of like a detective series. It was great. To climb hills. To climb mountains. Is to face the infinite breadth of everything. To see it. To feel it. I'm a 90s Doctor Who novels girl, or the lore in my head that is now junk. Oh, I'm so sorry. I think about it, I did read a lot of Star Wars novel. Well, I played a lot of Star Wars games that were extended universe. I was really invested in those. Yeah, I really liked that kind of side of it. I don't think I read any. See, I kind of. My relationship with Doctor Who is quite weird. Like, I watched a lot of the kind of classic stuff because my uncle had the same uncle that had the organ and is in the Navy. Had a lot of the third Doctor, so John Pertwee, on video, on VHS tapes, and I'd watch them whenever I was around. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there were any more. I don't think there was. Because okay. I have recently been getting into Twin Peaks tie-in novels. That's a whole different thing. Let's find can find comfort in its infinite space. There we go. To face the unending breadth of everything. Is that the wrong word? Nope, not breath. I want breadth. Is that right? Is that the right word? Length and breadth? The measure of a dimension from side to side width. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Thank you. I see. I was saying breadth over and over again. I'm like, no, this doesn't sound right now. Breadth exists. You know. I think we have something. I think that might be us. I'm just going to give it a read, and then maybe we'll see if we need anything more. I promised my GF a watch through of Twin Peaks. I've described it as a cheesy daytime soap with production values and nothing else. Oh, I love that. Like, genuinely it is my dream to one day make something with the very specific tone that Twin Peaks has. Where it's so, it's like melodrama, but it's played completely seriously. And that includes the production. Like, the soundtrack to Twin Peaks is so just evocative. And there's only like a handful of music cues in Twin Peaks, but like they all do so much. Yeah, Twin Peaks has had a big effect on me and continues to have. Every time I watch it, I'm like, I want to make something like this. Okay, I'm gonna read through this. We have 40,000 feet of poetry at the ready. We have 40,000 feet already. Okay. So we're going to call this How to Swim. Because I like that as a title. And then we can use this as artwork. Because this is public domain. Okay. There's a moment on a hike, usually early on, when your feet are still adjusting to the rigid grip of your walking boots. And you still feel the bounce of your rucksack on the small of your back. When the world opens up to you, and you can almost feel its seemingly infinite width. Sometimes it happens as soon as you get out of the car, climbing out of unyielding metal and stepping onto soft dirt. Sometimes you have the prelude of a wander through a forest before it reveals itself to you, the trees eventually bowing away, unveiling. There is so much world, not just one mountain, but many, rolling, jutting, looming, overwhelming, standing forever, being forever, to small and impermanent visitors like me. There are always more hills, more mountains, enough to fill 3 months at a time. You spend the other 9 months forgetting what they look like, forgetting what it's like to be awed, to be struck by so much space. We'll transition to the submarine. Everybody always talks about the unknowable vastness of the ocean, its ultimate dark emptiness, the unreal pressure and weight of water. It's strange to move through such hollow void and feel so closed in. To be so many feet underwater, so far away from civilization and feel so crowded. To move through silence with such silence, sheet metal pushing back against oblivion, holding our breath in an airless world with such fear of being found. Build, cut! Cut back to the mountains. The best mountains are the ones where you can stare out from the summit and only see land. and where the world stretches out in every direction and never ends. Your eyes forget what walls feel like, to look ahead and find a barrier preventing them from seeing further. And we'll bring in the shipping forecasts, some sea sounds blended with the wind, and we'll transition to like a cliffside ambience. I grew up next to the sea. I learned how to swim at the border of its infinity, never going too far out, never diving too deep. I drifted asleep to its moods and tempers. I clambered along cliffs to watch it breathe surf onto the shore and stare out to the horizon. And we're going back underwater. I have known what it is to swim too far out, to dive too deep. The pressure and weight of too many fathoms, too many people in too small a space. Too much time in the dark. Too much time in the dark. And transition back to the wind and footsteps. To swim is to skim the surface of the unknowable, turning away from oblivion in order to keep breathing. To climb hills, to climb mountains, is to face the unending breadth of everything, to see it, to feel it, and find comfort in its infinite space. Okay, I think we've got something. I think there's maybe a better line in there, but I think that's going to come from recording. You know, like I like the idea of saying and find breath in its infinite space. You know, I'm going to change it to breath for the time being, and I don't think we need the repetition of that line. I think it works just with a pause and just saying it once. Yeah. Synths brackets ominous, synths brackets grubbly romantic, close brackets, synths brackets mysterious, the Twin Peaks soundtrack. Yeah, basically. Oh, I love it so much. I'm so sad that it's so expensive to buy on vinyl. I have entirely missed all of Twin Peaks. I just know the references which exist in an unfathomable void for me. I must fix that. Please do. I love Twin Peaks so much. And then read all the books, because they're all amazing. Okay, we have something. We have something. So, we have our first piece. It's called How to Swim. We already have sound cues built in, which is really good. That's less to think about later. And obviously it needs recording and scoring, which we'll be doing on Wednesday. So yeah, so on Wednesday I'll probably still have the picture up. Well, maybe have a think about ways in which you can get, you viewer, listener can be involved. Might be maybe a different one than we do this for, just because this is the first one. But yes, so if you want to see what this sounds like at the end, please tune in on Wednesday. We'll be editing it then. I don't know how I'm going to be releasing these. I don't know if it's going to be a case of I'll release them as we go, or I'll kind of release them as one big thing at the end of the month. But I'd like to put them up as individual things. Like, I like the idea of putting them in the Tin Can Audio Presents podcast feed. But that's something for me to figure out. But in the meantime, I'll be back on Wednesday with more of this. We'll be turning this into an audio drama. Thank you so much for coming along. I've had such a good time this stream. Like, I was really worried because I had such a long day today, and we're working all day, and I was sort of sat down, looked at the prompts before the stream started, and went, oh, I have nothing today. So I'm very glad that I was able to find something and write a script. We have a script, everyone. We have a script to come out of this. Yeah, I'm gonna sign off here. I will. Poppy, would you like to say goodbye to the dear listeners? No. Okay. Thank you so much for coming along tonight. We'll be back on Wednesday. Yeah, this has been really great. I've had a really, really good time. Like, thank you so much for being here. It's been great. definitely see you on Wednesday.